Hello, in this video we are going to study about a checklist box in Windows Form application. What is checklist box? How to add the items to the checklist box? How to access those items? Okay, for this you can see in Windows Toolbox there is a control or a component with the name of checklist box. So just double click on it. So it will create a checklist box for us in our form. So we'll take two buttons also. So we'll change the text over that button as a check. Okay. Now, how to add the checklist box contains of various items inside it, and we can select the multiple items at a time, and we can fetch that value from that checked list box also. So how to add the items to the checked list box? So to add the items to the checked list box, search the property for item here. So you can click over here and you can add the items. Also you can see after selecting a checked list box in our form, here is an right arrow. Just click that arrow, it will pop up one window and you have an option that edit items. So here also you can add the items. So we will add the various values as the departments: a CSC, electrical, a mechanical, a civil, and E and TC. So okay, so you can see these are the items that we have added to our checked list box. So we can select the multiple items and we can fetch the value for each and every item. So to fetch the value from checked list box, we have taken one button. Just double click on that button, it will open the coding window. So first, that values are always in the form of a string, so we need to access those values. To access those values, we can access those values using two ways. We can access those values by the selected index also, and by the selected item also. For this purpose, what we will do, we'll access those values as a string. So for this purpose, we'll define one string variable as str, and basically you will set the default value, initial value, as a normal empty character. So for each string in, sorry, we have to mention the name of the string str1 in our name of the checklist box. So we have the name of the checklist box as a checklist box 1 dot checked items. Okay, then here we will set the condition: if str is equal to null, then direct str is equal to str1, else str plus equals to double quote mark comma plus the value from str1. So this is else, this is for, and after this you will display a message box dot show str. So we have displayed We have added the code, we have accessed each and every the selected checked item from that list box, and we are storing that value into str. If str is null, it will directly store that item as first. If it is not null, then it will concat that currently read string to your str, and uh, at the last we are displaying that selected values in a message box. Just we will try to execute. This is our Windows form. Just we will execute it. Just we have to double click on this checkbox to select this particular item. So check, you can see this is electrical. Now we will select. Now you can send electrical and civil. Now we will select one more thing, electrical, mechanical and civil. Just think is that we have to double click on this checkbox, so we can change that property also. Just stop your execution, select the checklist box and search for the property check on click and make it as true. By default it is false, so make it as true. Save and just try to execute it. Now on a single click also it's selecting that particular item. So press OK, then select for ANTC, so it will concat the value CAC and ANTC. Now this is the one way to access the value from a checklist. Now we can access the value through the indices also, because it will consider this complete list as an array of a string, and we can access those elements using the array indices also. So for this, what we will do, we'll add one more button. We'll we will change the text as checked by index. Sorry, check by index. Okay, so we'll double click on it. We will define one variable of type string str, again is equal to null. Then for each integer I in checked list box checked items dot, sorry, for integer I is equal to 0, I is less than checked list box dot checked items dot count and I plus plus. Okay, okay, we have to use the for loop, not a for each loop. Then if again str is equal to null, then str plus equals to checked list dot checked items dot to string. So we are missing something, we have to fetch that index checked item. Just wait. Okay, here we have to give the value from uh, of index dot convert it to string. We don't need a plus, str is equal, if it is null directly you can assign the value. Okay, else otherwise str plus equals to double quote mark, comma, plus again the value from checked list box 1 dot checked items at the index I converted to string. Now after if after for display a message box dot show the value of str. Just save it, execute it. So we'll try first button CSC and electrical. We will try by the second button. It's also CSC and electrical. Now we'll select ANTC and civil also. Check by index. It's again CSC electrical. Check. Okay, this is how we can access the values from a checked list box using index also, and directly as a string also using the for each loop also we can access. So one more thing, we can add or we can pass the selected values to the another component or another control of a Windows form application. So for this purpose normally we'll use the list box, and whenever we will select any item from this checked list box will be transferred to your list box. So for this purpose we will take one more button in transfer. Okay, so just double click on this. Again same string str is equal to for each string str1 in checklist box checked items if str is equal to null, str is equal to str1, else str is equal to str plus str1. This is if else, this is for, and after this list box 1 dot item, search for the list box 1 dot item dot add, give the variable str. So save it. Okay, this is why. So save it, execute it, just select a CSC so you can see. Now select mechanical, transfer, it will set transfer CSC and mechanical as we have selected two items at a time. If I will select the third item, then again it will transfer CSC, mechanical and ENTC to a list box. This is how we can transfer the values from a list box, values from a checked list box to your list box. So this is about the checked list box and the list box in a Windows form application. So now we will study about one more component or control of a Windows form application, that is down up down, domain up down and the checkbox. So we'll study about checkbox and domain up down and the combo box also. So for this just create a new project. So uh, yes, a checklist one. So I will create as a combo box. Okay. So how to add the values to the combo box, how to access the values from a combo box, how to access the value of a checkbox, all these things. So for this purpose, we will add three checkboxes. Again, we will add one combo box. So for the checkbox, we will add one button. For combo box also, we will add one more button in front of it. Then we will use one more domain up down. For this also, we will use one more button to check the values. Now, the checkbox, which allows us to select the multiple choices at a time. So just select, and we have to change the name of sorry, text properties of this checkboxes. So right click, go for the property, then select it. Now search for the text property. Here it is. Just make it as a division A. We will consider it as a division A. This is for the division B, and this is for the division C. Okay. Now if you want to add the values to the combo box, same like the checked list box, you can add the values to the combo box through searching through the property named as items, or you can add the property from this arrow mark just by clicking on that arrow mark. By pressing by selecting edit items, you can add. So we will add as first year, second year, third year, and final year. Okay. Then to add the values to the up down domain, just select the property items, open it, and add the values for your domain up down. So you will add the months, and December. So these are the values that you have added. Now if you want to change the default value of this domain up down, just search for the text property and set the first value, which is our first value, Jan. Now again, okay, so change the button, check. This is also for the check. This is also for the check. Okay, now for the checkbox value, to retrieve the value for a checkbox, it's a we have to set the value for that checkbox. Now we can select the multiple checkboxes also. So if I will select this it must show A and B. So save it, just try to execute it. So you can see, you can check the checkboxes. Again, these are the values we have added to our combo box, and these are the values for your domain up down system. So how to access these values, how to show these values? So for the checkbox, take a variable of type string as a str is equal to again null. Now search for if checkbox one dot property checked is equal to true, str is equal to a, else if checkbox 2 dot checked property is equal to true, then str is equal to plus equal to str is equal to b. We will select a single only. Else if checkbox 3 dot checked property is equals to true, then str is equal to c. Else message box dot show nothing selected. Now message box dot show the result as a str, that selected item. So save this, execute this. Now press and check, nothing selected. So it's showing one more message box. Now I will select A, check A, then I will select C. It will first say A, then so it's not going for the else property. So if I selecting multiple properties, it's not showing it. So for this purpose, here after selecting A, so it's not showing multiple items, so we'll remove this else from here, then we'll try. I will remove this else completely. Now I will save it, I will execute it. Now nothing, so A, it will show A, it will show B, it will show C, so it's not showing A, B, C. So for this purpose, here we'll just change, just str is equal to the same thing that we have used before. Now see, Control S, execute. So it's empty, nothing is selected. Now A, it's A, B, it's AB, it's C, it's ABC. So if you want to add the comma between these values, just here str plus equals to double quote mark plus, just save it, execute it. A, it's A, it's B, A comma B, it's C, it's A comma B comma C. Just remove A, it's B comma C, just C. Okay, just uncheck the B, then it's only C. So you can see this is how we can add the values to the checkbox and we can access the values for that particular checkbox. Now how to access the value from a combo box? So we will using this button we are accessing the value from a combo box. So double click on this button. So the values in a combo box are always in the form of a string and we can select a single value at a time only. So str is equal to name of your combo box dot text direct property. Now just display that value in a message box and save it, execute it, just go select check. Now you will see 3. Now again change the value for 1 1. You can see this is how we can add the values and access the value from a combo box. To add the value in a combo box, select that combo box, search for the item property, click here. You can see these are the values we have added to our combo box. Again you can add through by clicking on this arrow mark and edit items. You can add the items to your combo box. Now for a domain up down, just double click on this particular button. The domain up down value is also in the form of string only, so we'll take one variable, a string str, then str is equal to domain up down dot text and a message box dot show str. Save it, execute it. Now check it, it's January. Now change that value, June. Now change that value again, April. Now again September. So this is how we can add the values to the checkbox, to the combo box, and to the domain up down component or a control in a C# .NET. So we can use these values. We can use the values from a combo box to insert into database also. We can use this value to insert value from a domain up down also to insert into database. And for a checkbox value, we have to set that value by checked property like this, using the property check. If it is that particular checkbox is true, add this particular value to the database. So we cannot directly set the value for a checkbox. We have to set it through the course, whereas we can add a value or values or items to the combo box and a domain up down list also. This is about the uh, Windows form controls, a checkbox, checked list box, then list box, again a combo box, and the domain up down control in a C#.NET. Thank you.